It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and MWO. And we are talking all things WWE today, where we're going to cover SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and we have a little bit of an Elimination Chamber coming up. So we're going to predict the best we can on that gigantic card with 4 matches. Are you ready, Ryan? Are you ready?
I am ready, man.
All right. Let's go. Let's go.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes. Ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point. Yeah, it's on. Time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
We are officially, Ryan, in the last climb to WrestleMania, where I'm hoping we will be at. I'm assuming we're going to be at, and I am super, super stoked for it. But Elimination Chamber seems a little low on matches, but we'll get into that, right, once we get all of our reviews going. But before, as always, sometimes we get a little drama for your mama, and we have one this week. So it's now time for Two Dudes Read the News.
Yeah, so breaking news coming out of WWE this week. The lovely and talented and very, very beautiful Carmella, also known as Leah Van Dale in real life, has been quietly released, or I guess her contract expired and they have opted not to re-sign her. And then she posted on her Instagram story that, and this is a direct quote, that she's going to, I know there's a lot of questions and uncertainty around everything. I will be going on a podcast later this week. Today's Wednesday, so she's no podcast yet, answering some of those questions and telling my side because I have a lot to say about this situation. Now, Carmella hasn't been on our TV in a long time. I think she was on maternity leave for a while, and you know, I know her and Corey Graves are together, and you know, it's sad. I love Carmella. I thought she was a fantastic former women's champion. I thought she was former Money in the Bank winner. I just thought she was one of the best women that WWE had, and it's unfortunate that she's not going to be back in WWE. And I do wonder, like, what this tell-all podcast is going to be. Is it going to be explosive? Is it just going to be like, yeah, you know, they chose not to re-sign me, and I'm not going to badmouth the company on the way out. But I also wonder if Corey Graves is next, because he had those tweets a few weeks ago, and he's been demoted, quote unquote, to NXT. And he's not famous enough for his job, and that's what he got replaced by Pat McAfee and Joe Tessitore and all this. So, you know, he was in some hot water allegedly, but apparently that's all water under the bridge now. But now that Carmella's not coming back, I wonder what this means for the future of Corey Graves as well. So, a lot to take in there. We just got to wait for that podcast to be released, whichever one it is.
Yeah, time will tell, huh? I'm just surprised on not re-signing the women's division. It's not, I mean, it is stacked, but we need more women in wrestling.
Absolutely.
And we need more talented women, and she's it. But you know, we don't ever know what goes on behind the scenes, right? It's like right now with my Rams and Matthew Stafford. Everybody's like, why would you get rid of Stafford? Why would you well, behind the scenes, you don't know what's going on, and people are saying he's asking for $50 million. Maybe the Rams don't want to pay almost 40-year-old $50 million in his last year ever probably being on the team. So there's always more to the story. It might not just be, hey, we didn't want her anymore and get at her. Maybe that's what she's going to talk about. But we were talking before we got on. I don't see her bad-mouthing unless she truly doesn't want to wrestle anymore, because I'm sure you can go to AEW, but, you know, people, I think, want to stay on good terms with WWE currently, and everybody who is either released or wasn't renewed, Baron Corbin and so on, haven't said one bad thing. They're hoping probably to go to TNA. They're hoping if they do go to AEW or New Japan, they can like come back. You know what I mean? So I don't think this isn't the WCW, WWE Monday Night Wars where you're willing to take a leap and hope for the best. So I think this is just her trying to get people to pay attention. I mean, she didn't say there was going to be drama. She just said she's going to tell everything. You take that how you want, you know? So we'll see. Yeah. But sad to see her go. She was a total package. Hottie, talented in the ring, great on the mic, everything you needed. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So she'll be missed, and good luck wherever she goes next, for sure.
Agreed. First ever women's Money in the Bank winner. Twice, back to back. Technically, yeah. All right, let's get into it. It's time for some Smack Sound, and we are going to bust it up. And Smack Sound was kind of a up and then a down. And let's start. Let's see. Should we start with we're going to start with an up. Let's start with an up. KO, Kevin Owens, decided that he wanted to talk about Sami Zayn and everything that's going on. And all of a sudden, he let us know that he was in front of Sami Zayn's house, with his wife and child and doing some weird-ass things. What did you think about it? Let's hear it.
I thought that whole episode of SmackDown was complete garbage, except for this one segment. And I thought this segment was the highlight of the night. Kevin Owens continues to find ways to steal the show. The man wasn't even in the arena, and yet he had the highlight of the night. And this is probably a pre-tape thing that he did with Sami Zayn, knowing that that they planned it all out and everything. And the man's just got a beautiful wrestling mind, and he knows exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And this segment was perfection, and it made me that much more excited for the match, Elimination Chamber. It also made me appreciate Kevin Owens' deranged character a little bit more too, because he's willing. He's stalking Sami Zayn now. He's following him at his house. He's looking in his windows. Like, how far is he going to go in this unsanctioned match? So I loved it all. This was the highlight of the night for me for this episode of SmackDown.
One of the great things Trips is doing, we've talked about it before, take a match that people weren't really interested in because they've claimed they've seen it too much. Now we're interested. Now we're continuing to get interested. And then even Sammy's follow-up on Raw got us even more interested, where he was talking about meeting his mom and this and that and feeling the pain.
Being ashamed of himself.
It's real, right? Being ashamed. It was just so real. And I just love Kevin Owens because we've had home invasions before, right? Randy and Triple H. We've had Brian Pillman and the lights go out and the bang, bang,
Seth
bang.
Rollins and Edge. Yeah.
Seth Rollins and Edge. We've had Swerve and Hangman Page. I mean, we've had things, but this is how you do it. This is how a pro wrestler probably would do it. They're not criminals. He didn't do anything wrong. He's just showing, hey, I'm watching you. I'll somewhere, and you'll never know where I'll be. And that's the intensity that Kevin Owens is giving to how bad he wants to destroy Sami Zayn for being a bad friend. It was just really, really good stuff. Didn't go in his house, didn't do anything, just flashed his phone over his shoulder, showed what they were doing, continued to cut, and then they probably had a nice dinner together afterwards. But nonetheless, good stuff. I loved it. Bravo to the WWE once again. And Kevin Owens. This man is 100. First, Drew McIntyre was the MVP, and even though he's still doing great things, but now the role's been given to Kevin Owens, who's now the MVP of WWE, doing great stuff. But let's talk about someone who's not the MVP currently in people's minds, and that is The Rock. They wanted us to smell what he was cooking. He had something to say. He talked to Cody, and he wants his soul. What do you think? I'll let you break it down first. Go ahead, my man.
Oh my God. Okay. So I didn't hate this segment as much as the rest of the internet wrestling community. It was it weird? Yes. Was it odd? Yes. I mean, with The Rock going babyface to heel, saying things like, "Thank you, New Orleans. Let's sing the Saints Go Marching In," and then telling them to stop singing, and then thanking them for announcing WrestleMania in New Orleans next year, and making him the highest grossing arena. Like, there's all this stuff. And I didn't hate the segment as much as everybody else did, but I just found it very strange. I thought the show took a nosedive after this segment. It took a complete dive all the way down. Like, the rest of the show, I didn't care about anymore. And then I thought this segment, the reason I didn't like it, it's not because of The Rock, ironically. It's actually because of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, I understand from a fan's perspective why we have to wait until Elimination Chamber to get Cody's answer to The Rock, selling out, to Cody selling out and becoming the corporate champion and all that. I get that from, like, it's storytelling 101, right? Give us a reason to tune in for the PLE. From Cody's standpoint, it makes absolutely no sense for him to wait until Elimination Chamber. He should have answered that question right then and there. I thought everything made him look like a complete chump. The fact that after everything The Rock did to him last year, torturing him, battering him, making him bleed, attacking his mother, all of a sudden they're friends in 2025. And then Cody Rhodes looks like he wants to cry at the end of the segment. I thought this all made him look like a complete chump. And I feel like what they should have done, in my opinion, is Cody Rhodes answers him right then and there and says, not just no, but hell no. Yes, I had tequila with you on January 6th on the first Raw on Netflix because I'm a company guy and this is I'm the champion. I'm the guy that we all have to do things we don't want. Nobody likes their boss. And I can tell you right now, I do not like you. We're not friends. We never were. And my answer is hell no. And then slap The Rock or something. And then we get The Rock's response at Elimination Chamber instead. I think that would have made Cody look strong instead of, that's what Cody just looked like he was just going to cry when The Rock asked to take his soul. And I thought it made him look like a complete chump.
Well, this really felt like The Rock's idea. And I'm not trying to dog on The Rock because I'm not those people who are over here like, The Rock's making everything about himself and doesn't care about the business. But what my thing is that what The Rock, I think The Rock had a clear idea in his mind. And it was, I say this about AEW all the time. Great idea, poor execution. And I think Cody got stuck because I think this was supposed to be powerful shit. Like this was supposed to like rock Cody's soul as he was trying to take his soul. And I think
I get that. Yeah.
I think the way The Rock came out flat. This is not the first I feel like the last few times Rock has come out, he has felt flat. Like he doesn't have Brian writing for him, or he's just winging it and it's not working. Maybe he needs to do like John Cena said and write it on his hand because it's just been really lost. And I think that number one way it was lost, Rock needs to stop with the kayfabe shit. If you're on TV, then you're in character. Stop. I don't care if you're the TKO mogul who's taking over the WWE, then you're that person. But you're not Dwayne Johnson, then The Rock, then Dwayne Johnson. Then you cut a press conference afterwards stating that everything is fake and that
we don't have to have a match. That was the other thing.
Like, stop saying it's fake. Stop telling me wrestling's fake. Once again, Jon Snow never went on, Game of Thrones and said, hey, this is all fake and blah, blah, blah. I'm actually so-and-so, and I'm just here because I'm being told by a script writer. Like, you're on TV, you're in character, the end. And I think he just delivered it very, very poorly. You don't come out and say, you suck. You're great. Everyone sing. Shut up. Just kidding. You're fantastic. Like, nobody likes a bipolar girlfriend. You know what I mean? He was a bipolar girlfriend. Secondly, don't announce WrestleMania a year and a half before Wrestle freaking Mania. Nobody cared about, I get it's in the city, but on TV, do that shit beforehand. Post it on the graphic, have The Rock come out. That was stupid as well. You're not going to be in New Orleans again for him to announce. It was way too early. We're not even in WrestleMania yet, and you're already announcing when the next one is. Yeah. Stupid. All of it was stupid. And so he's over here like, I'm taking your soul. I want you to be my corporate champion, blah, blah, blah. And Cody was like, because he was told by The Rock, act like I'm like devastating you. So the way he was reacting would have worked if the words coming out of The Rock's mouth made sense. It didn't. Yeah. So the thing felt flat. Now, with all that said, I like this idea. We're obviously going to get, and we'll talk about it more with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins chat on Raw, but we're obviously getting something going on, and we're getting the corporate Rock. They wanted Stone Cold to be the corporate champion. He said no. Then The Rock turned because he was the corporate champion and Vince's corporation. This is just repeating history, which is fine. So obviously, Cody's going to say no, which we'll get to. But the key question is who's going to say yes, right? Who's going to be the one that's going to go after Cody as The Rock's corporate champion, which I'm fine with. It was just the delivery. The Rock should have came out as the final boss, did his shit, said this is what I'm doing, and moved on instead of promoting it and being out of character.
I think my problem with The Rock too is what you were saying about kayfabe. I feel misled by The Rock sometimes because he posted on social media that he was coming to SmackDown to F somebody's life up.
Yeah.
Well, what did he do? He didn't attack anybody. He didn't beat up anybody. No. He said, I'm going to take your soul. And that's it. That's not, I mean, it's thought-provoking, yeah, but it's not going to mess with your life. And then afterwards, he did the press conference and said that, oh, yeah, what we're doing is This doesn't even have to lead to a match, which basically tells me that The Rock's not wrestling at WrestleMania. He'll probably be in attendance, but he's not going to have a match because of his schedule or whatever. And then he also posted on Instagram just yesterday, because his return led to huge ratings for SmackDown. It beat all the other USA beat all the other broadcast networks. They had over 1.5 million viewers and stuff. But he wrote, "Thanks for watching the show. We got some disruptive moves coming up, so tune in. Love playing this audacious, unpredictable character known as the final boss. Toronto, I'll see you this weekend at Elimination Chamber." Why are you telling us that you're playing a character? You're doing this on social media. Yeah, it's just,
that's what I'm saying. We
don't need to be told that this is scripted, because then he'll go and put a video response to Cody Rhodes on Instagram in character, and it's like, okay, like, we know you've already told us that this is fake, so I'm not invested anymore.
No, and that's the only thing, because I love The Rock, I love Dwayne,
I
I love his character, I love him as a person, even though people hate on him. But this is dumb, and just because you're a genius or you're great at your craft doesn't mean every idea you have is great. That's why there's a team of people. I'm assuming this is The Rock saying, "This is what I want to do, Trips, and I'm going to go run with it." And I think in his head he thinks it's working, but it's not. Like, you gotta either be character or don't be on TV at all, or just be the person who spokes it, that comes out and hypes up, "Hey, it's The Rock, TKO owner, like, let's go New Orleans, it's in WrestleMania season, woo, let's go." Then stay out of the character. But to say that what you're doing is unpredictable in this, no, it's not. It's just not work. It's not good. Is it good? And nobody thinks it's good. So
and I think it's not good. The other thing too is it just feels random. Like this, if they had done this on the Raw on Netflix, like, "Hey, Cody, I want to take your soul. I'm going to be back soon. Be thinking about this," and like, let this be like a built-in story going on all the way through Elimination, past the Rumble with Kevin Owens. But this just like, it was like a random episode of SmackDown, right? 2 weeks before Elimination Chamber, and they dropped this nugget on us when we thought The Rock wasn't even going to be involved in WrestleMania in the first place. So it just feels very, very random as well. Like, they should have done this on the first Raw on Netflix. When he said, "Me and Cody are friends now." Yeah. Which also didn't make any sense then.
No, it didn't. Yeah, I fully agree. All right, let's jump to Raw. You ready? Let's go to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, let's start off with the opening. And that was one CM Punk and one Logan Paul. You heard that correct, ladies and gentlemen. Logan Paul and CM Punk had a promo together. It ended in hostility, but they broke down with Logan Paul being the one to eliminate CM Punk in the Rumble. So CM Punk wants to eliminate Logan Paul in the Chamber. What are your takes? Because I think they were pretty mixed. I think on the internet, it was either loved or hated. There was no in between. Where do you stand?
I liked it, but I didn't love it. I thought it was a good way to introduce Raw. It was a good way to get heat on Logan Paul. And I thought CM Punk did what he was going out there to do. But it didn't really get me all that amped for Elimination Chamber. In fact, I'm a little concerned now that we're going to get Punk versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania instead of Punk versus Cody Rhodes, which is what we should be getting, because of this and the fact that he eliminated him at the Rumble. Like, they're telling that story, and then the slap heard around the world, and then whatever happens at Chamber. So that's kind of my concern. Now, I'll wait until Elimination Chamber to see what happens, but I like the segment. It was a good way to open the show. But yeah, Logan Paul, man, we got to give that man some credit. Whether you like the guy or you hate the guy, the man is good at cutting promos. He's good at getting the crowd against you. He is good in the ring. Like, he is an entertainer through and through, and he's fantastic in this role.
I thought it was funny how many people said otherwise. But here's the thing, Ryan. Are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready? Okay. So you said you didn't like it. It didn't get you that excited. But now you're worried that we're going to have CM Punk versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania because of what's going on. So that means it did work, and it has got you going, because now you're confused. And I think that is the thing. This every year,
I just don't want that match.
We have Elimination Chambers, and you're not going to get it. That's the thing, is because Triple H is so good at not giving the obvious, even if the obvious is going to happen. He's mind tricking you. Damian Priest got a big pin over Solo Sikoa and SmackDown. Whoa, he's hot. Is he going to do? Seth Rollins, which we'll talk about, and Cody Rhodes have a chat. Oh, shit, is Seth Rollins going to win? CM Punk and Logan Paul. Oh, my God, CM Punk's not going to win. We're getting Logan Paul. John Cena, who has said absolutely nothing other than 8 months ago. Everyone thinks he's going to just not come on TV and then wrestle at WrestleMania. We have all this intrigue of what's going to happen. This is why it's working. Logan Paul
that's a good point.
He came out. He got legit heat, clowned CM Punk. CM Punk then countered back, even saying, I like you, dude. I have nothing against you, although it made no sense because legitimately everything Logan Paul is as a true human is everything CM Punk supposedly hates. But nonetheless, but he says he has nothing against him in the ring and so on and in this business. Good stuff. And the fact that CM Punk allowed Logan Paul to slap the shit out of him was fantastic. We all know, and we all know in real life, Logan Paul would toast CM Punk in a fight. So maybe he had no say. But nonetheless, I'm so done with the narrative. And you know who I'm talking about, all these AEW nut huggers on TikTok and such. Who are just like, now when CM Punk went to AEW, he was going to change the game. And now that he left and him and Tony Khan aren't friends anymore, he's doing nothing but slow potting and sucking it up in WWE. No, he's not. And he's also proving the fact that CM Punk wasn't the problem. AEW was the problem, because when CM Punk left and now since he's gone to WWE, he has done nothing but do his part, build other stars. 2 Rumbles now that he hasn't won, and now he's letting Logan Paul smack the shit out of him for the best of the business. Yeah, this guy knows what he's doing right now. He's a grown-up. He's matured, and I'm looking forward to him versus Cody at Mania. We'll get into that later, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing for me with this segment, like CM Punk's great on the mic. Logan Paul's great on the mic. CM Punk's great in the ring. Logan Paul's great in the ring. Like you said, Logan Paul would wipe the floor with CM Punk in a fight. And I got that vibe on Monday Night Raw. Like, we talked about CM Punk and the tough guy stuff. Like, he came across like, like, I'm going to let you walk out of here after slapping me, like that kind of thing. It was just like, wait until Elimination Chamber. I don't know. It just kind of got that fake tough guy vibe from him. But other than that, I thought it was a good segment.
Yeah. All right. Well, what did you think about this one? Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. The talk I didn't think was going to happen happened. Cody Rhodes broke down in ways on why he is thinking about his decision with The Rock and why Seth Rollins is confused by it, but then understands it. What did you think?
I got to give Seth Rollins some credit, because he said everything that I said earlier about Cody Rhodes and how, him, what's there to even think about, and him, like, you should have slapped The Rock in the face, and the fact that you didn't is a slap in my face. I mean, that was a great line that Seth Rollins delivered. And honestly, like, everything Seth Rollins said was true. That, we went to war together against this guy, and, I've hated you before. Don't make me hate you again. Don't make me regret my decision to help you win that title. And then Cody Rhodes, he came back with, some daggers of his own, saying that, you sold your soul as well to the authority, and you ran me out of this company. You ran several others out of this company, and you turned your back on the Shield. And, it was good stuff. And it was thought provoking. And again, from a fan's perspective, it makes sense as to why Cody Rhodes is thinking about this decision and not taking it lightly. And we're going to get the answer at Elimination Chamber. But from his side, like Seth Rollins was saying, he should have just slapped The Rock across the face right then and there. And the fact that he's even having to think about it is asinine. So I stand with Seth in this promo. I'm on Seth's side on this.
Well, and the good thing about this promo was that it did what The Rock couldn't do, and that was explain to us what the hell was going on. And that was the perfect example of it. You know what I mean?
Did you notice? Sorry to interrupt, but did you notice in the video recap that they did of The Rock and Cody Rhodes? It was like 5 seconds long. It was like, well, I want your soul, and that was it. And then they that was like that could have been the promo, instead of 20 minutes.
Yeah, The Rock got to ramble on incoherently about absolutely nothing. Yeah, and so it was good on that aspect. And I like, once again, Seth Rollins being in it, because now, is he going to win the Elimination Chamber? Are they going to go at it? Absolutely not. But you never know. And Cody, is he going to accept? Absolutely not. Oh, wait. But if Cody denies it, someone's going to be the corporate champion for The Rock, right? Somebody's going to want to do that. Is it going to be Seth Rollins? Is he going to do it again? Because Cody brought up the Shield. So it's all just really, really, really good stuff. So I did like it. Something I didn't like and something you didn't like was the new day versus the LWO. with no Selena Vega, who I think is no longer in the crew because she cut a promo about being on her own, and one Rey Mysterio. She's on SmackDown, and one Rey Mysterio, who I think is dead. So, what did you think of this? New Day got no heat, in my opinion. What's going on?
Oh, I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks that I'm worried about the New Day and that they're starting to lose their luster and, cutting them. It feels like the new running gag is to cut the New Day off at every corner. This time they were cutting a promo and then they cut and went to commercial. And then they come back and they're in the ring. A couple of weeks ago, they were beating up Rey Mysterio and the show immediately went off the air. And, now before they were coming out to give promos in the crowd and they were getting booed out of the building before they could even say anything. So now it feels like this is the running gag that WWE is doing to kind of make them look like a joke. And like to paraphrase CM Punk, the fact that American Made is in the tag team title picture and New Day isn't makes me sick, because New Day should be in the tag team title picture right now. They could really elevate that tag division. They could beat the War Raiders, and then anybody that stands up to the New Day, would really get elevated because they're one of the best tag teams of all time, and it would really help freshen up that tag division a little bit. So instead of putting them in this whatever feud with LWO, they should be going for the tag titles and be the top heels in the tag division. But I'm just a fan. So
we could beat the War Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been saying it since day one too. The New Day turning on Big E made them heels and made them villains. So the crowd perceives them as that. So having them do absolutely nothing after that is not what the fans want. And I think that's what went on. So you had them turn on Big E, boom, instant heat. You then had their whole family turn on them, boom, haha, instant heat. Then they were kind of fading out a little bit. So then what do? Attack the other most beloved wrestler in all time, Rey Mysterio, boom, instant heat. After that, what do? Let's just have them beat up on the LWO. Well, no offense, because they're good dudes. Nobody gives a shit. And so that's
and the crowd knows that.
And that's the difference between building straight heel heat in a way like Daddy Dom does compared to the crowd wants to see what they're doing with Big E. And I think that's what's losing interest. And I think Elimination Chamber, the New Day have to put their hands on Big E. They don't have to harm him. They don't have to put him in a move if his neck can't handle it right now. But they have to put their hands. They got to grab him. They got to have Booker T or someone or whoever's there with them. Get away, guys. Security, and have security pull them. But they have to do something to build that heat again. And then the following Raw, bring it up and talk about, don't worry, Big E. We're going to find you. We're going to put our hands on you. And next time, security won't be there to stop us. They need to continue to get that heat, or they're going to disappear if they're going to continue feuding with the LWO or next up. Who cares? See, I don't even think right now the War Raiders are big enough to get them over. And I think that's why they're not putting them in the tag team match, because nobody cares. People are invested in the New Day because they're evil villains. Just beating two random dudes isn't villainous. They need to do villainous things. That I just think they put themselves in that corner, right?
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
And I think for me too is, I've said this before about Triple H and his booking, but not everything needs to be long-term booking, right? Like the New Day turned on in December, like right before it was like on the last 3-hour Raw that we had, or the first 2-hour, one of them. So they turned in December, and here we are in February, like almost March, and they really haven't done anything since the turn, and it's been 3 months. And that's the thing, like people, wrestling fans, we don't like our time being wasted. See what happened on SmackDown with The Rock. That felt like a waste of time. We've invested 3 months in the New Day. Like, we need to get them to that next direction.
Yeah, I fully agree. One direction I thought that worked was the main event. We have new women tag team champions in Liv and Raquel. They defeated Bianca and Naomi, with Naomi getting pinned by one sexy Liv Morgan. Once again, another kind of split reaction. What did you think, and what did you take out of it?
I love this. I thought it was the right decision. Obviously, Liv Morgan, I think people should be happy, because for whatever reason, people don't want Liv Morgan in the women's world title picture. I think they're tired of Liv and Rhea. So this is an opportunity to keep her relevant, keeping gold around her waist, while also keeping her away from the women's world championship. So it also gets the belts off of Bianca and Naomi for the impending return of Jade Cargill. So one of them can feud with her. The other one can probably win the Elimination Chamber and go after Rhea for whatever reason. So, and this now adds intrigue, like you were saying with the men's chamber. This now adds intrigue to the women's chamber because, who's going to win this thing? Roxanne Perez could do it. Now Bianca could do it. Naomi could do it. Bayley could do it. So there's plenty. Liv Morgan is on a hot streak right now. She just won gold on the Go Home show. She could do it. So I think it adds a lot of intrigue to the women's chamber. So I think it was the right decision. It was a great match, arguably the best women's tag team title match of all time. It was such a fun match, and Dominic Mysterio deserves his praise for helping those women get those titles.
He even jumped in on the Triple H picture. It was good shit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This was the best booking decision made this month, and it was the best booking decision that needed to be made. One, Naomi and Bianca, whether it's one of them, both of them, whatever, they got to move on to Jade Cargill. Them having the tag team championships don't do anything with them. So they needed to move on from that. So number one, great booking. Let's see what happens. And now people are intrigued. Hey, maybe they'll win. Maybe one of them will win the Elimination Chamber match. So continue on with the good booking. Secondly, the Judgment Day are kicking Finn Balor out. The end. And to do so, they need to show that they're better than him. Somebody needed some championships. They won the tag team titles. They're moving without him. Yeah. Perfect job. We don't need you, Finn. Continuing that story. Like you said, Liv, she's important. And they don't want her to have the championship right now because they'd rather give it to Rhea Ripley, who kind of isn't on TV anymore. Great idea. Give it to Liv and Raquel. Fantastic. All of it was just great booking. Daddy Dom showed that him as a leader and him helping out can get those championships changed and give gold to the Judgment Day. It was just all good. I loved it. Fantastic way to close the show. The biggest surprise to me was the pop Liv got when she pinned Naomi, because holy crap, it didn't sound like they were the heels. They really sounded like the baby faces once they won those titles.
And shout out to them too, because it felt like a big deal for them to win the title. I mean, they got Pyro as they closed out. Remember when the War Raiders won? It was like, oh, the War Raiders are new tag team champions. Good night, everybody. See you next week. And the show just went off the air. This felt like a huge deal that they won these tag team titles, and there was Pyro and everything. And it was a good way to end the show for sure. It was a damn good match. Damn good show.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. All right, let's get into some NXT. You ready? NXT, man. This might be the show of the week.
Yeah, this was cooking.
It was jam-packed. It was cooking. But let's start off with your all-time favorite tag team, the Hard Boys. They were back in the WWE as well as everybody else. Santino was there. It was a pretty freaking good show. And this TNA and NXT partnership is starting to be the best thing going in pro wrestling. But the Hardys are back. They beat the No Quarter, No One Care crew. And they look good, in my opinion. What did you think? Are you happy to see the Hardys back? Did you enjoy the match?
I enjoyed the match. I mean, it was what it was. I knew the Hardys were going to get a pretty easy victory. The best part to me was the promo afterwards with Fraxiom. And, now we're going to get a tag team title match for the TNA tag team titles at Roadblock. And I think if you're going to bring the Hardys in, and you're going to have them. The Hardys need to lose this match.
Yeah,
put Fraxiom over as arguably the best tag team out there. And they even said, like, you guys are the best tag team of all time, but we're the best tag team currently, and so it makes sense to put them against each other. I'm all in on this. I'm more excited about this than I am Champ versus Champ with Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, which are two NXT people. I don't know. I love it. This can really brighten up the tag division, which. NXT needs a good tag division. The WWE needs a good tag division, and I think this is going to bring some eyes to Roadblock for sure.
Yeah, I fully agree. Yeah, well, and I think the title versus title, champion versus champion, which we'll talk about in a later episode. Not excited about it because it's going to get interfered either by Roxanne or Jordan. I mean, they're not going to have one person have both belts. So what was the point of creating a secondary title? So it just doesn't get me excited in general. And it seems like it's more to shove it into Tony Khan's face than it is anything else. But no, the TNA things, I mean, from Moose versus Oba with the Hardys versus Fraxiom, I mean, this is gold. And they both obviously have it set up to they'll each get a W, which I like. You know what I mean? Oba will probably win. The Hardys will probably win. So each brand gets a W. This is something Vince would never, ever dream of, and why Triple H is just so much better for the business. Whether you think he books correctly or not, he at least is looking and doing things fantasy-wise that has never been done before. So I love it. Good shit. Good shit for sure.
Yeah,
excited.
and this partnership, like you said, is really starting to come into its own. And it's every episode of NXT now is really unpredictable. You never know who's going to show up, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, you don't. Santino.
Yeah,
that was calm that Cobra down. He was about to hit some Lola Vice with it. He was about to do some crime. He had to hold it back.
That man is still like, we got to get a Santino and R-Truth segment. I'm surprised they haven't given us one of those yet, because those two guys would be fantastic with the way Santino mispronounces things and the way R-Truth, gets everybody's names wrong. It would be gold, comedy gold.
I mean, who doesn't want to see Fraxiom versus the Hard Boys? All right.
and Ava, or
Ava, or whatever he said. So good. All right. We got him. Ricky Saints. He is here. He wrestled in a tag team match, but he got a little bit of a solo run in at the very, very end with Wes Lee, who, I don't know, once again, pooped in Triple H's coffee. But what'd you think about the debut of one Ricky Saints?
I liked it all. I thought his presentation was good. His theme was very similar to his AEW song.
They did, close, yeah.
And I thought his presentation, he looked like a star. He looked like $1 million and looks like a future champion. And that's exactly what you want when you brought this guy in. And I thought he looked great in the ring. I didn't really see any ring rust, and it was probably wise to put him in a tag match right away instead of a singles match, just to kind of see what he's working with. But yeah, this was a great debut for him. The highlight of the night for me was the Tony Fumble chants from the NXT crowd. And I think they were talking to Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, because Ethan Page is now a former NXT champion, and he was really not used at all in AEW. And then everything that happened with Ricky Starks in AEW too. So it was I don't understand what's going on with Wes Lee. I don't know why he's taking pin after pin after pin all the time. But this was a great debut for Ricky Saints, and I'm excited to see what he does going forward, because I do feel like they had to put some gold on him pretty soon.
Oh, for sure. It was just all really good. And I don't want to sound weird, but Ricky Saints might be the most electrifying performer, entertainer since The Rock. I mean, his vibe, and I'm not saying because he looks like The Rock, but just his presence.
You don't want to piss up. You don't want to send him over the edge.
I might. I mean, he is a vanilla midget, but no, honestly, like his presence, just his vibe, his look. I mean, every time he hit the ring, I was like jacked. I was like, let's go, Ricky. Like, he just delivers well. Even his basic promos in the back, everything he does when he went to try to dap up Trick Williams, he just has a vibe with him. He is a good looking kid, good in the mic, good body type. I mean, he's got it all. This man, after Tony D, will be the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, and I think he's got a bright future in Raw or SmackDown. And that's no knock on Tony Khan. I don't think Tony Khan fumbled. The people release people all the time. You know what? It is what it is.
Something happened between Tony and Rick. Like, something happened.
Yeah, he's shitting his coffee like Wesley did on Triple H. It happens, man.
He did something that pissed Tony Khan off. But
it's Edge, and we all know it. So it is what it is. But the Duke can go. I love it, and I'm super excited to see where Ricky Saints goes moving forward. So crowd refused to chant Ricky's. They were like, Ricky. They're like, we refuse to say Saints.
Yeah. I don't mind Saints so much. I really don't. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we'll get used to it, but I don't mind it so much.
Agreed. All right. That was our weekend review. Pretty good week for WWE. Setting up for Elimination Chamber. Are we going to do a watch along? Should we do a watch along?
We probably can. Yeah.
Possibly. All right, fans. Tune in just in case. Check it out. That's why you should subscribe, follow, load us up, whatever you do to make sure you get the alerts and the updates, because maybe we will go watch along, and our watch alongs are the bomb. So we'll see. All right, man. You ready? Before we jump into it. So you ready?
Yeah.
Toronto.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
I like this box you gave me. It's making it look like I work out chest day, which I don't.
There you go. Yeah.
My shirt making me look all right. All right. You ready? We're going to go match to match. And we're also, I don't know if you put it on there, but let's predict if Cody will sell his soul or not. All right. So we got 4 matches plus the 45 minutes of Cody and Rock deciding whether or not they're going to sell their soul. First up is the women's Elimination Chamber match, where we have Liv Morgan versus Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Naomi versus Roxanne Perez. Other than me just being way too excited by the beauty in the ring, who do you think is going to win this match? Let's go, Ryan. Give it to me.
There's so many options, man. I feel like I don't know. I don't know who's going to win.
This is the most unpredictable match of all time.
Yeah.
Literally all time.
They could go and give it to the rookie and Roxanne Perez. They could. There's Bayley's on a hot streak right now. Bianca Belair is looking fantastic. Alexa Bliss could call the powers that be of the Wyatt Six to help her. Naomi, I don't really know if she has the best chance of winning, but she could, especially if she is the one that attacked Jade. And then Liv Morgan's hotter than hell right now too, in more ways than one. So I'm gonna say Bianca Belair is gonna win. And then at the end, that's when Jade Cargill comes out and reveals that she was the one that attacked her. So that's going to be the whole story going into Mania, is the Jade Cargill distraction with Rhea Ripley.
All right. So this is like the hard. So I still think Bayley. I still think Bayley is the favorite. I do. I've been saying Liv Morgan was going to win because Liv versus Rhea makes the most sense when you really think about it. Bianca, like you said, winning it because she's the person who did it, but then that distracts from her and Rhea. You kind of got to break it off, like who's going to work. Rhea versus who is believable, who could beat Rhea if they have the match. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I know we don't have SmackDown yet, but I think we're done with our build up to it. I'm going to say Alexa Bliss is going to win this chamber match. And I think the Wyatt Six are not relevant. They're boring. No one gives 2 shits about them, and they've always been baby faces. I think they help win. They become heels. The Wyatt Six will be bad guys with Alexa Bliss leading the realm as the #1 contender. Rhea and Alexa Bliss have history in a sense, so I'm going with Alexa Bliss. That's my prediction. Now, I'm saying this is the heart. Don't put your money on it because it could literally be anybody. Naomi could be it if Bianca's the one who attacked Jay. It could be anybody, but I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Six because they're hinting at it. We got to bring them back somehow.
And I also feel like Triple H, we didn't see Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble coming. This feels like the match where he could throw a curveball and have Naomi or Roxanne Perez get the victory too. So
for sure.
So this one's a hard one to predict. I'm going Bianca. You're going with Alexa, which is
Alexa.
A good pick too.
And it'll definitely be a hard one. All right, let's go. What's next?
What we got?
Woo! We got the match that is unsanctioned. If you know what I mean, that means that WWE has nothing to do with it other than promoting it, letting them sign contracts, building it up, setting up a match, putting it on television, having a referee to make sure that because an unsanctioned match would just be whoever gets the shit beat out of them and then they walk away. But nonetheless, brothers fight sometimes, Ryan, so you never know. Me and you might be at next year's Elimination Chamber match. Right. But we got actually, my beard kind of looks like KO. You look like Sami Zayn. Maybe
we can do it, man.
Maybe let's do it. Maybe we'll start it off in Vegas.
Team move, Sami and KO. Yeah.
Oh my God. In Vegas, we're totally making that video, just so you know. All right, so we got it. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, unsanctioned. Who you got?
I'm going to go Sami Zayn. I'm going to throw this out there because I think Randy Orton's going to come back and he's going to play a significant factor in Kevin Owens taking a loss. And that's going to set up KO versus Randy at Mania, maybe a triple threat between the three. But I think Sami Zayn's going to get the victory in Canada, which that is meaningless because KO's from there too. But Sami Zayn's going to get the win because of Randy Orton.
I'm doing the same exact thing. Sami Zayn, Orton's help, Orton versus KO. I'm just confused on what Sami does then at WrestleMania, but time will tell. But
Karrion Kross.
Ooh, they have been hit. Okay, I'm for that. Karrion Kross. You see him break that bat with the armbar?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
He broke 3. That guy, man. Whew.
That's who Sami's facing in Mania.
Holy shit. All right, I like it. All right, we got the same per person. What's next? Oh, there it is. Questions we've been waiting for forever, or since 3 days ago. Will Cody Rhodes sell his soul or not? And with that said, I want to know who you think, if you don't, who his soul is going to be sold to. You're up first. Let's go. Unless that's going to give unless you want to wait. Do you want to do this last then?
Yeah, let's come back to this one.
All right, let's come back. That's a good, because I don't want to give spoilers. Okay, hold on. I got to be right back. I got to use the rest. All right, we got Trish Stratus and Tiffany time versus Candice LeRae and Nia Jax in a women's tag team match. People are going to say this is when you're going to go to the bathroom, literally, but I will literally go to the bathroom during this match, or at least after. Who do you got winning? Let's go.
This one I feel like is the most obvious one of them all. It's Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. And then maybe at the end, that's when Charlotte comes out and stares down Tiffy. Or I could see Charlotte costing Tiffany the match and Trish takes the pin or something. But I feel like the more logical solution is Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton getting the win, and we tease Charlotte coming out afterwards to stare down.
I agree. I think we sometimes try to overthink everything when it doesn't need to be overthought.
Yeah.
Tiff, Stratton, Tiffy, Toronto, celebrating. No point for Nia Jax and Candice LeRae to win. Who knows what their future is for WrestleMania as well. Nia Jax deserves something big because she's been carrying the division. But yeah, we get Tiffy time and Trishy time for sure. All right, the men's one, another unpredictable one, not as unpredictable as the women's, but we got John Cena, who isn't here, versus CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul versus Damian Priest versus Seth freaking Rollins. Who do you got? Who wins?
I think it's going to be CM Punk. I think CM Punk is winning this chamber, and yeah, I think it's going to come down to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre as the final two. I think Roman's going to interfere and take out Seth. I think John Cena and Logan Paul are going to do something, and Damian Priest is going to be the first one eliminated. But yeah, I think CM Punk's going to get the victory.
You know, I think it has to be Punk and Cena at the end, only because I think those are the two favorites. I think Logan Paul has 0% chance, and yes, I think CM Punk's going to eliminate him to get payback for Raw. But I got CM Punk winning as well. I think it has to be. John Cena hasn't even been on. They're not even like having him show up. What would be the point of having him win this when he's not even like hinting at it a little bit? So yeah, and I don't see the other guys winning. I got CM Punk as well. I think it makes the most sense. It's the biggest match possible that they can put on. So yeah. All right, and now we're back to it. Who is it? If it's not Cody, who is it? Who shot Mr. Burns? Let's go.
I don't think we're gonna know. I think Cody's gonna say no, but I don't.
No. But you don't. Yes. But who do you think?
Yeah. So I don't think we'll know. Like even like CM Punk's gonna win the men's match, but I don't think that automatically means that he's gonna be the one because he still has that favor. But I do think if it is anybody, it should be CM Punk. This is everything that he's been against. And, he is so desperate to main event WrestleMania. Him and The Rock have history with each other. CM Punk is at his best when he's a heel. He also literally told Cody Rhodes that he's going to stab him in the front. And what a better way to do that than by winning the Elimination Chamber. And then not only that, but taking The Rock up on his offer to become the new corporate champion, wearing suits all the time. It would be a drastic character change for him. And remember, it's not Roman Reigns doesn't owe CM Punk a favor. Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor. The Rock and Roman Reigns are tight from the Raw on Netflix. So that means Rock is good with Paul Heyman after the Raw on Netflix. So he could cash in his favor. And this could be the favor is, hey, Cody Rhodes said no. I say yes. Push me to the moon. Let me get my WrestleMania main event.
What I think can happen too, if they do, so Cody's not selling his soul at the end. Let's move on. So what happens, because this will go on before the main event. So I'm not going to say any of this is going to happen, but I'm saying if Triple H was smart, this is how it exactly would happen. You ready? Let's go. So
he listens to us.
I think it'll be I think it'll be Cody versus whoever at the end. I would prefer John Cena. I think John Cena's going to be getting the upper hand. All of a sudden, the Elimination Chamber match, either the Cage goes, something happens to where The Rock is in the ring. I think The Rock lays out John Cena, possibly, because you got to owe that favor, whoever it be. CM Punk gets the win. They hold their hands up, and I think CM Punk will declare himself at that moment visually that he is going to be that person. And I think on Monday Night Raw or whatever, or SmackDown, since that's where Cody is, he will be wearing that corporate suit and everything. And I think that's the way they're going. It makes perfect sense. Everyone thinks Cody hates The Rock, or Punk hates The Rock because he took his spot. No, I don't. Or did I? But I got to do what's best for business. He was owed a favor. That was the favor. They have not brought that back up yet. They have to bring it up. And the favor has to be him main eventing WrestleMania. What bigger match than Cody versus Punk? None. Punk being the guy fighting for The Rock? Yes, makes good television. Lastly, Cody would have got booed if it was Cody versus Punk. How do you get Cody not being booed? How do you keep Cody the babyface you want him to be? By having CM Punk literally sell his soul. This is the way to go. It has to happen. He's going to say no. Punk is the man. And whether or not maybe they don't have the interference, but after that, this is the way afterwards it's going to go. But I just don't think Punk winning clean. It has to happen. They have to interfere somehow, or then he didn't get the favor. You need the favor. The favor has to be helping him win the match. So however that happens, whether it be The Rock, whether it be anyone else, nonetheless, this is the way it's going. Corporate Punk versus Cody Rhodes, babyface, WrestleMania Night 2 main event, the end.
And you talked about The Rock interfering and costing John Cena. Who interfered in the match last year with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes? John Cena. And who did he take out? The Rock. So
thank you. Payback. I know.
There. Yeah,
I'm telling you, I was going to post it on TikTok too for everyone to say I'm wrong. I can't wait. I love receipts. And I never say I'm 100%. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying if Triple H was intelligent, that's how it would happen.
Yeah, I could see Drew McIntyre too, because The Rock gave him that sword, and The Rock was being all chummy with McIntyre, and McIntyre's tired of being screwed over. So he's the only other one that makes sense in my opinion. But the one that makes the most sense is definitely CM Punk.
100%. Story is written. All right. That's our prediction time. And just like we do every week, it's time to pick our biggest LVDs of the week and our biggest MVD of the week, where it's not who we hate or love. It's whoever we think was booked the worst or booked the best in this week of WWE. As always, least valuable dude, Ryan, who do you got? Who is your LVD of the week?
Man, I hate to do this, but I'm going Cody Rhodes. I just feel like even in his promo with Seth Rollins, as great as it was, Seth still had way better points. And the fact that these guys went to war together, and Cody Rhodes looked like he wanted to cry after that thing with The Rock, and it felt very random. It felt out of left field. It just didn't work. And maybe you blame The Rock for that, but in my opinion, it just made Cody Rhodes look like a chump. And the fact that, again, he's having to even think about this is crazy to me, because I understand, again, storytelling 101, you want to get people to tune into Elimination Chamber, great. But the fact that he is even having to think about this, considering everything that The Rock did to him last year, it just makes him look chumpy. So I'm going to say it's Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Yeah, that's a good pick. Really, really good pick. But I'm going to go with the person who made Cody Rhodes your LVD of the week, and that is The Rock. I always smell what that boy is cooking. Have since day one. I was only smelling shit this week. That's what The Rock was cooking. Yeah. It was awful. He delivered. Everything he did was pointless, and I think he knew it, and I think he knows it. If he's going to continue to come out, be in freaking character, the end. Are you a TKO guy? Then be that person. Are you the final boss? Be that person. But nonetheless, it has to be within the realm of reality of the show, not real life. And you're going to script them to lose, because that just takes it. Then why am I even going to watch WrestleMania? Because if you're scripting him to lose, how the heck would he win? So yes, The Rock, the big L of the week of WWE for me.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And I was torn between The Rock and Cody, but I feel like Cody has the belt. And so I feel like if anyone can't afford to look like a chump, it's Cody Rhodes. And
for sure.
So yeah, that's why I chose Cody over The Rock.
Good pick. All right, MVD, and on a positive always. Ryan, who's your most valuable dude or dudette of the week?
I'm going to go your boy, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I feel like that man, he's the
Daddy
reason.
Dom to you. Yeah.
Daddy Dom, yeah. But he's the reason that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are the women's tag team champions. The man was there every step of the way, breaking up pinfalls, interfering with the referee, breaking up counts. It was good stuff, and he was there just in the nick of time every single time. And I know, and the best part too, like you said, he got into the picture with Triple H with the new tag team champions. So good. And Triple H even said, "Congratulations to Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, ... and Dominic Mysterio, I guess." So it was, just tongue in cheek, very funny stuff. But dirty. I was gonna give it to Liv and Raquel because they won the tag team titles in a fantastic match. But the reason they got it, big reason that they got it, is because of Dirty Dom.
Agreed. Well done. I could always give it to Daddy Dom. He's always my MVD. That's why I can't give it to him.
He's like LeBron. He could be it every week. He could be MVP every week.
100%. He is the GOAT. All right. So my MVD is none other than NXT as a whole. It has been cooking. And I'm seeing all these morons online posting about, oh, I wish it was back to the black and gold days. 2019 NXT was the best. And I disagree fully. NXT was cooking in the black and gold days, but you know what? It wasn't bigger than it is now. Ratings have never been bigger than NXT is doing right now. Yes, they had more established stars. Yes, they were like the New Japan of America at that moment because they had all these older people who were coming over, already established. No, NXT now is young people are flipping future, and it's being booked better than AEW, WWE combined. NXT is damn cooking. Add in the partnership of TNA. It has done nothing but revolutionize the way we think about WWE. NXT is it. Best women's division in pro wrestling by far, and ain't even freaking close. The tag team division is the only tag team division in all pro wrestling that's starting to cook. They got star after star. They're even making people who weren't big in AEW come over and feel like big deals. NXT is it. That's my most valuable dudes and dudettes of the week.
Yeah, no, well said. And NXT has been on fire lately. And like you were saying with the black and gold stuff, they lost to AEW in the ratings, and that's a big reason that they shifted to NXT 2.0 or NXT Rainbow or whatever they called it at the time. But so they lost to AEW. Now they're dominating AEW in the ratings, and NXT is no longer the developmental brand. They are the third brand of WWE with this LFG show that they have and this Evolve show and the WWE ID. NXT is now officially the third brand, and I'm here for it because that partnership with TNA is fun and it's bringing new life to the organization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, that's our WWE week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, hit those subscribe buttons, follows, and 5-star us. Always, if you just want to hear what I gotta say, you can catch me at my_wrestling_opinion on all your social media outlets. And with me, as always, is
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all social platforms as well. Go follow us on TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. We're starting to get more views. We're getting more engagement. Apparently, I hope it's okay that we did predictions this week because 100% of other YouTubers are out there doing predictions, but I just want to make sure that it's okay that we're not stealing content or anything. So I want to throw that little dig out there. But go follow our YouTube channel. Go subscribe on Twitch and Instagram and X at 2 Dudes PC, and go rate us and 5-star us on all the audio platforms as well, and tell everyone about your favorite 2 dudes on the internet.
Heck yeah, 2 Dudes Wolfpack, we out.
2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're riding in Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to lie.